Hi guys, Sav Mangan again from Fowl Talkers. This is Talking Fowl 101. Today we're going to go through the last call in the black duck series. So what this is basically a feed call or a chuckle or a chatter. There's three different types that it's called. We're going to talk through them each as we go. But really, this call completes you as a black duck caller and really finishes off your arsenal in terms of what calls you can use when you are chasing black duck. We'll go through just a feed call first. It sounds something like this. So that's your feed call. You do hear it sometimes, and it's what we refer to as a chatter. It sounds something like this. A chatter is not necessarily a call that birds make on the water. It's more of it's a call that they make when they're in flight, especially with our black ducks. So the chatter can be used to emulate a heap of ducks feeding on the water. What I prefer to do when there are ducks, and I do want to emulate a mob of ducks feeding on the water with that chatter, is to incorporate a single quack into it. Now, before we go any further, the chuckle and the chatter are probably the hardest calls that there are to master in the black duck calling techniques. So just going on to the chatter with a single quack thrown in. So by all means, this call or these series of calls require a lot of practice, and it's unnatural to come from the single quacks and the greeting calls and comeback calls into a feed call. So going back to that feed call that we talked about earlier, to do that, to learn how to do that, I'm going to do it into the back of the call. And now all you're basically doing is putting short bursts of air and really moving your tongue around in your mouth to cut it off and put lots of short, sharp notes in there. So it sounds something like into the back of the call. So best way to learn this call is just to start slowly and just focus on getting those short notes with your tongue hitting the top of your mouth and just cutting them off. So starting slow. Eventually you get the hang of that and you'll be able to get quicker. A lot of this is just muscle memory when it comes to the feed call and the chatter. So ultimately you want to get to a decent pace, but not to that super fast chatter that we were talking about earlier. The chatter that we were talking about earlier, that's a little bit different. Basically what you're saying into the call with the chatter is ticka ticka. And you're saying that as quick as you can. So ticka 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 ticka. Something along those lines. So into the back of the call. That will give you the chatter. To incorporate a single quack into that chatter is possibly the hardest black duck call that there is to learn. Once you've got it, like I said, it's muscle memory. You'll be able to do it on autopilot. But so to do that with the incorporating that single quack into a chatter, it'll sound something like this, and it really is something that you should try and nail without a call first before attempting it on a caller. That'll get you your chatter with a single quack in there. To start off with that chatter, I'll do it nice and slow for you. And this is, again, like I said, as a call in its own right, it's probably not going to turn a heap of ducks, but it does give you a lot of versatility with your calling repertoire. Start slow and just say ticker, ticker into the call. So that's what you need to work on to get to that chatter. And we've gone through the feed call. So now you've got all 4 of those calls that you can use when you're out there and you see a black duck and it's working well. These calls will help you get it in that little bit closer. So I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Stay tuned. We'll be coming out with some more calling instructional Talking Fowl 101 clips. The next species we're going to cover off will be a grey teal.